because it was somebody that had done a lot of time in prison that was talking to me. We started talking about God, and he's like, I do believe in God, but he's like, I don't believe in religion. He's like, one of the things that happens when they lock you in a cage, he's like, you occupy yourself. Most people choose to read. He's like, so I've read the Bible, I've read the Quran, I've read all the last books of the Bible. And that's how I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, you didn't know there were books that were taken out of the Bible? He's like, it's a white dude. He's like, have you ever heard of the Slaves Bible? I was like, no, I've never heard of the Slaves Bible. He was like, yeah. He's like, that's like the Bible where everything about freedom was stripped in the revolt. He's like, so think about that. He's like, they control you by what they allow you to read.
Morning, brother. How was your day?
It was well, I was tired, but I got a lot done. So I got everything done except for like raking. And I'm not gonna rake. It's just gonna die. You know, my wife walked past her last night. She's like, "Oh my God, yeah, not doing it, not again." So the wind will blow again, and it'll move all the dead leaves. Until then, I don't care. Or I'll pay somebody to do it. Either way.
Yeah, no, there's gonna be another one coming next week that was projected to hit Panama City again.
Yeah, they said we didn't have to worry about it when I was watching the news. They're like, "There's a lot of talk about the next storm." She's like, "You don't need to worry about that one." It's like as I'm like taking down the freaking plywood off the back door and dragging it back into the garage. It's like like storm shutters are supposed to be easier, but I'm watching people put them up and they don't look any easier. So it's just like nah. But no, we cleaned up everything. The tree that dropped another limb, I cut off two more because I didn't want to. It was like all the culprits that I think would do it. So I trimmed those. Helped the lady down the street. She had a palm tree that I kid you not was like that big around, like my arms, the width of my arms, that fell on her chain link fence. Um, so she saw me out there with the chainsaws. So I went over there and helped her out. And she's like, "All right, thank you so much." Like that's all I needed. I was like, there's chunks of it in her backyard, and I was like, so how are you going to get these to your curb? I'm just curious on what your thought is. She's like, I'm going to try and roll it. It's like, all right, I'll be back with a wheelbarrow. So I
Yeah,
carted
she's not rolling, but she's not rolling
that.
that.
She was like 5'1", and she was not in good shape at all.
We tend to forget that real wood.
It's so heavy. Yeah. So
It's
even like she had some bark that she had laid out on a tarp to drag to the street. And I was like, how are you going to get that out? She's like, I'm going to drag it. Okay. So I was like, I'm going to go get the wheelbarrow. I'll be back. And it's still there when I got back. I was like, how far did you go? She's like, I couldn't move it. I was like, I know. Yeah.
poor thing, dude. But at least she had the right, mindset. It's like I gotta try it. So,
So she definitely tried.
instead of looking at you like with three eyes going, aren't you gonna put it on the curb too? Could have been
No. She was out there with a freaking cross-cut handsaw,
nice.
like trying to cut this massive piece of wood. And I guess she heard the chainsaw while I was out front. She was in the backyard, so she came down the street. I was like, "Yeah, I'm not gonna get this done."
Well, that's awesome that you have power. Anybody else? Like your block has power?
My block has power because FPL came through here after Irma, and they wanted to test underground electric. And
Uh-huh.
I guess we were the one street that said yes. Everybody else said no.
Wow.
Yeah. So literally the people across the street, so
Yeah.
people across the street this way, but not the people across the street that way. They all don't have power. So it was just like, and their power went out when the tornadoes hit, not when the hurricane hit. So it was like 1 o'clock, 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Afternoon.
Uh,
Yeah.
so that it's been gone for a little bit already.
Those fucking tornadoes that the one you showed, the one that hit up here in Wellington, these were I'm still in shock, dude. I mean,
That's some big boy.
these were like twister sized tornadoes. Yeah.
It's like stuff you saw in the movies that you never really thought you'd see. Yeah, no, that's bananas. Um, yeah, no, and like even we were talking about it with our neighbors. I did. Oh, I think I told you yesterday. Maybe not. It was after we talked. So I saw the roof that blew off on the building, on the apartment building a block away, and it's literally the paper, like because they do the panels.
The felt. Yeah.
Yeah. So all the felt with all the shingles still on it flipped off of the roof and landed on the power lines and on the house behind it. So that's the block that doesn't have power. And I was just like, you guys have to get a lot of stuff done, a lot more.
Yeah, they do. Ouch.
Yeah.
Ouch. Ouch.
But that's the tornadoes. Like they found the 7-Eleven sign in the neighborhood like a mile away.
That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot of craziness going on. And then like last night, I passed out on the couch. My wife said she tried to wake me up twice, and I didn't wake up. So I was like talking crap. I was like, "Oh, so you took the dog to bed and left your husband on the couch, huh?" She was like, "I tried." She's like, "I can't wake you up." She says, "Not like I can move you." It's like, yeah. The dog would have claimed my spot in the bed, was like curled up in a ball and wouldn't move. I was like, "You gotta go, man." No. So, but it was a good day. We had I hope all we have a tradition with the neighbor across the street. After a hurricane, we have drinks by the fire. And so we did it at their house this year. We did it at our house last year, or not, I keep saying last year, last hurricane. So we sat down, had some drinks, talked, catch up. Because we don't hang out with our neighbors. Nobody does.
Yeah.
So that's the one set of the neighbors. I talked to a couple of them, but I don't really spend time with them. But that's your first line of defense, and is the people around you. So that was
Right?
like a really really big deal. She was like, we freaking love you guys. He's like, you, or his wife was like, you pay attention to everything. She's like, they had a shed delivered that was in a big box, and the rain was blowing in, and so I went over there and I covered it with a tarp and like wrapped it up for him. And he texted me. He's like, "Did you put a tarp on my box?" I was like, "Yeah, it's gonna rain." He's like, "Man, I really appreciate that." But it's like, supposed to be a good neighbor. Well, it's not that hard to be a good neighbor. It's not like you do things that you would want somebody to do for you, and you can really just be good to people. It's not hard. So apparently, that's a very very rare thing. But they notice and they love it, so they let us know that.
Well, here's the I I completely understand what you're saying. And I don't know why also, but for example, the okay, so I'm facing west. I'm facing west. So my right hand neighbor, they are the surrogate fathers of what of our cats. The surrogate parents of our cats. That guy there, it's an older couple. They run an Airbnb out of their house. They're doing okay. They take care of our cats, and that's it, right? So we started talking to them because of the cats. They started coming over, and we became friends. We became so close that, for example, I bought my daughter her car, and I needed a place to hide it, so I hid it in his house. You know what I mean? So it's just, even though it was next door, I was able to hide it. You know, and then for Christmas, and they came over for Christmas, and we gave her the car. Blah 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 blah. So they're pretty cool with us. They're very quiet, very intimate. They don't deal with anybody else. They do talk once in a while with the neighbor on the other side, on to their right, right. Well, the neighbor to their right, also we also know her. We know her as a very nosy neighbor, but that's the one that I think I told you that came knocking on my wife's door. She's like, "Excuse me, don't you feed your cats?" Because we have one cat that has like 5 houses. Like he'll go to different houses and say, "What's up?" Yeah. So apparently he has food lined up at like 4 or 5 houses. So anyway, we deal with her, but it's no big deal. At least she knows of us. Across the street, there's another old man. He doesn't deal with anybody. He is another old man. Leave him alone. Don't fuck with you. Right? Then you come over here, another younger couple. Then you come over here. Then you have Helen. I love Helen to death. Right across the street from me. Older couple. Once again, she'll come here at 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, knocking on the door. I need help. That's the kind of fucking her husband is bigger and can't really walk too well, and
Gotcha.
he'll fall sometimes, and she can't get him up.
Yeah.
So and if we're not home, then she has to call 911 to come and get him out. So she comes over all the time. She's very grateful. She has bananas in the back, and she gets all this extra food and stuff like that. She's always constantly, thank you so much. When my van got broken into, I went over there and I said, "Hey, I noticed that you guys that I said I could really use a camera on your house. We could really help the neighborhood out if we get a good picture." And she's like, "Okay, no problem." So I'm gonna put a camera on their house. They're low income. They're very limited with everything they do. So whatever I can do to help them out, I do. Neighbor next door. Now I'm going on this side. Across the street is Tommy. Amazing guy, dude. He's probably one of the richest people in this block.
Okay.
I fucking I think he has like 12 subways, and I don't know. He has another mall, one of those mall
Or strip
restaurants.
mall? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. Like one of the. He was happy when he was happy when he bought that one. He's like, "Yep." I said, "Dude, that's a vegan store. Are you buying that shit?" He goes, "Hell yeah, dude. It does $1 million a month. $1.5 million a month gross." And
That's
I was
insane.
like, "You're selling $1 million a month on that bucket?" He goes, "Yep." I said, "Wow." So he's doing pretty good, you know. Plus his 7, 12 subways, whatever he does quite well.
Lincoln Subway.
Right.
I'm surprised that survived the
The
backlash.
the backlash with Jeff,
Jared,
Jared.
Jared
Yeah,
Vogel.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
If
That's
you
the
haven't
guy.
watched, if you haven't watched the documentary on that, that is insane.
Really?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. So he had been like investigated by this journalist that had interviewed him, and he was trying to groom her to bring him children. And so she was like, he was like really cautious about it. And she has recordings and stuff. And
No.
yeah, he's like really cautious, trying to see if she was a pedophile as well. And like then he was like trying to groom her. So she's like turning in evidence on evidence on evidence on evidence. She's trying to work with the FBI, and they won't freaking arrest the dude because they didn't think they had enough to get a conviction. So this goes on for 14 fucking years of him being able to operate. And the only reason why he got caught is because somebody in his circle freaking engaged in bestiality which was illegal in the state that they lived in, and they had filmed it. And when they went in to get the stuff off the computer, they found all the other stuff on that person's computer because that person worked for Jared. And that's how it all came crashing down. So for over a decade, he was out there doing what he was doing. Dude, you gotta watch the freaking documentary. It's fucking disgusting, but it's like very.
That's okay. Yeah.
Like just the thought of what, like your
Just the thought that the dude is still breathing
yeah,
is
yeah. He's probably on like in the little Chomo ward, dodging very angry fathers that don't get to see their children that have life in prison. That's probably what his life is like now. So he's still breathing, but he might be sucking a lot of or eating a lot of foot bombs. I don't know. So, but yeah, that's he's not in a good spot, I'm sure. But yeah, no,
you
that's
know, I don't know. You see, there's an old saying in Spanish. Um, it goes like this: Mi Dios le da pan al que no tiene dientes. And it basically translates to God gives those without, gives bread to those that don't have teeth. Okay. Why is that? Have you ever tried biting a piece of bread? You
no,
can't.
I guess
You have to really bite it, right? Bread is like the number one enemy to any fucking dentist, by the way, right? You'll have the most tooth breaks, cavities, anything because of the bread. So
Oh,
anyway, yes. And I was raised in remember my dad was played a dentist for a long time. So it's true. Especially like French bread and stuff like that. It's just so crunchy. And then it's just tough to pull.
I'm not
So
at risk. I hate bread. So
yeah, I don't like bread either, but I'm just saying. Right? So that's the phrase. God gives those without teeth, gives bread to those without teeth.
that's funny. I like it.
The reason I say that is because, well, look at that. So Jared changed his life, went from being a fat fuck to a celebrity with $1 million contract and this and that. And he was broken, depressed. Fucking so the universe gave him everything he ever wanted, but he didn't know what to do with it, and he still fucked it up, and now he's back to square one or worse. You know, that's why it's extremely important only to be grateful, but I mean to be prepared. Life gives you $1 million and you don't know what to do with it. You better hurry up and start studying. You know,
Yeah. Yeah, Wikipedia. Um, I mean, he had a 15-year campaign with freaking Subway. Like
that's a whole career, dude.
that is insane.
That's a whole career. Yep.
Oh, it's so freaking. Like imagine, like yeah, you got this fortunate thing. This guy got freaking. He lost weight eating Subway and became a celebrity, and his life changed literally like overnight.
Overnight.
And oh yeah, he only got 15 years. Oh, there's some. Yeah, that's bullshit.
You know they're trying to pass another fucking uh pedophile what do you call that? That group of people
The
that
maps.
whatever they're trying to join the rainbow. That shit ain't happening, dude. But anyway,
He's in
those mother
Florida.
who
He's
Jared
a
is here.
yeah. He's at the correctional federal correction institute in Inglewood, Florida. It's right up the road.
Good for him. But those, wait, I was saying something. Shit, I'm
They're
doing
trying to
something.
join the rainbow.
Yeah, they're trying to join the rainbow. They're trying to say what how they're trying to be able to normalize that that's a mental fucking disease, dude. I'm sorry. I you can't normalize liking little boys and girls, dude. It's just it's you can't. There is no normalization in that.
They're
You know?
trying. They're trying
Wow.
a lot of stuff.
I
It's like
mean,
they're
look at
trying to.
that. I mean, look what's going on with fucking. We've always known that Disney was fucking corrupt anyway, and it's hurting the fucking kids. There's not one Disney kid that's grown up and he has been okay. They're all fucked. Every single one of them. Even the one that the last one that Selena Gomez. Selena
Hmm.
Gomez. She didn't partake in all that Diddy stuff. Listen to this, dude. I was looking into that. She was Justin Bieber's first, right? So Justin
Okay.
Bieber was her first. They're first everything. But that's the thing. Her core values were so intense that she stopped participating. Like I'm like, I can't deal with all that shit. So she backed away, and she never really made as much money as all her other fucking celebrity friends did. But
Okay.
even though she is self-made, she sings, she dances, she fucking
Triple
she
threat.
acts, she does everything, but everybody else surpassed her because she walked away from that side of the fucking business.
Hmm.
So
Yeah. My wife had brought that up yesterday. She's like, I wonder if that's what happened to Britney Spears and what made her go bonkers. Because she said she'd never go back to that industry. And you wonder what was going on behind the scenes that make people just like cut bait. Mel Gibson, freaking phenomenal actor. He was like, fuck you guys. Mark Wahlberg, fuck you guys. Like all these people, like there's like it's not like it's one or two people. It's like everybody that it seems like they have a pretty like Mark Wahlberg's a devout Catholic. Like you wouldn't know it until you like actually look into the dude, but it's just like want nothing to do with that industry. So music, Hollywood, like what's really going on behind the scenes there? Like, is it all just Diddy's running around doing stuff and
to kids,
manipulation?
the
Yeah.
people, yeah, dude, yeah. Oh, I mean, that's the real aspect of. I mean, think about this. If it's, I don't want to say it's normal. Excuse me, it's not normal, but I'm just saying it's where you hear it the most. You know, what other industry would you share sexual favors? You know what I mean? It's would you ask for a sexual? I mean, it's just disgusting. It really 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 is. But you're gonna have those fucking guys like that who was that big fat disgusting creature? What was his name?
Java Hut. Um,
Jabba the Hutt, dude.
I don't know.
The Jabba the Hutt of the music industry.
Um,
Oh, what's his name? No, was Rothstein, Rothsberg. Fuck, I forgot his name. I thought it was. I think it starts with an R. I forgot. Whatever. Anyway, he's sick right now. He's dying in prison. Fuck. What's his name?
oh, you're not talking about Suge Knight.
No, actually, Shook wasn't even as bad as everybody seems to be. You know, yeah, he was just a straight up OG.
He's a G.
He was straight up, dude. You know, at least listen, fucking Suge. He he just did it face to face,
Yeah.
slap the fuck out of you. All right, you got the message. No, I'm going to kill you. But fucking Puffy was doing everything on the low low.
Yeah.
You
But
know,
what is
he
the
killed
greatest trick?
everybody. He
Yeah,
killed
the greatest trick the devil ever played was making people think that he did
that he didn't exist.
the freaking Puff Daddy is what it sounds like he was. Is just freaking.
Listen, dude, I didn't listen. I didn't grow up listening to these guys, right? But at how old was I? Whatever age I was, 20 years old. Whenever fucking Biggie died, I said, how the hell did this guy have a song so fast with approved fucking Sting, uh, you know what I mean? A signed approval to use this, to use
Mm,
Sting's music and so forth in a week? The guy just died and you already made a fucking super
yeah.
song. I was like, dude, you, you killed your partner.
Well, I mean, that's what everybody's running around saying now is that he had both killed.
Yeah, he did. I
So,
believe that. I really, really, really do.
uh,
I'm just surprised. Watch, watch how many fucking. I don't give a shit. But I'm just saying it's gonna show up. Watch how many more divorces there are in Hollywood. There should be so. Listen, fucking J Lo already got. She already got separated. The Kardashians are all separated. Kanye is fucking divorced. Everybody in that circle is fucked, dude. There's rumors out there that are talking about how there's a video of P Diddy fucking banging or getting banged by uh LeBron James for $100 million, dude.
that's crazy.
Tell me there are a lot of scared people out there.
That's crazy. Well, 'cause I saw the one with him in like the maid's outfit that popped across my social media feed, and I was just like, I hope that's Photoshop. I really do. I hope it's Photoshop. People don't like LeBron. I hope that they just
I don't like LeBron, dude. I hope it's real,
I hope it's not.
dude. I'm
I
a
hope that.
die-hard Jordan fan. You
Yeah,
know,
I don't care. LeBron's a crybaby, but I mean, he's just another person. Whatever. Like he's definitely not the goat as they claim he is. That's. I mean, that's just sinful to say something like that. He's.
he's good at what he does. That's fine, but he's not the greatest.
I was like, he doesn't even scratch the surface of a Kobe, like let alone
No,
Jordan.
he
So
doesn't have the fucking yeah. You could be talented, but he doesn't have the drive and
right,
determination.
right. So, but I wouldn't wish that to have that holding on in my closet to anybody. Like that's freaking horrible. It was like because you hear stuff about Meek Mill, and that one was going around for a while, and I was like, yeah, I really. And
Just
I mean,
wait
he
till
probably
all the
called it you fake tough guys. It's like, ew. This is gonna get ugly.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's gonna get up.
there's no good coming from this whatsoever. Um,
No, no, and if Trump gets, can you imagine, dude? If Trump gets elected, he's opening up. He's making public the Epstein list.
as it should be. It should have been like that's not something that the president should have to even put his finger on. Like,
I I agree, but now listen to this. So you got the Epstein list and you got the puppy list. Oh my goodness!
yeah, well, the whole
Now,
top secret thing that we don't get to like we pay for all this shit. Like these are our tax dollars. This is the funding that you guys take from us on a regular basis. And you're like, oh yeah, we're gonna take your money to pay for all this bullshit and investigate. Everything that the government does is based off of the tax dollar of the working American, working citizen, whatever you want to call it. And yet, no, you guys can't. No, you guys can't read that. Nope, it's gonna hurt you. Dude, it's mine. Those are my files. So it just drives me bonkers. There shouldn't be any classified anything that has to do with things that we pay for with the tax dollars.
yeah. Well, listen. I know I'm not there, but I'm listening. The I think there's a lot of things that they hide from us, because they're trying to make it, either A, by controlling, or because it's not in our best interest. Now, I think it's, if we really have freedom as described by the word freedom, which we think we do, but we don't, that um, then we should be able to make our own decisions based on, what we want to do. What I'm saying is Antarctica, that Antarctica treaty.
I really want to know what's going on up there.
I want to know why there are people that have way enough money that can private their own fucking jet. Listen, dude, I am this stupid. Are you ready? If I can get, not if, when I get to about $5 million a year, it's really not a lot. When I get to about $5 million a year, I would have enough money to charter an airplane to fly me around that whole area. I want to see, but I won't be able to because of the fucking treaty. They won't. There's nobody in their right mind. So either A, I have to become a pilot, and I have to break the rules, and I have to go fly into these zones and probably get shot down and so forth. Just fucking open it up, dude.
Yeah.
Like, look what I mean. I really want to know why Admiral Byrd got taken for crazy. You know, he was a fucking world. He was a war hero, and
Who
then
is it?
Admiral Byrd. He's the one who went down to Antarctica after the Second World War, and he came back. He flew in. He flew in there, and he documented everything he saw. He saw another world. He saw other mountains. He saw another fucking sun. He saw other creatures like fucking dragons and shit, like dinosaurs, like mammoths and shit. Like he saw a completely other world.
1946.
There you go. It's documented in his journals. He came back going, he was on national television going, you guys don't understand. This is real. And as soon as he started talking to public, they immediately took it. They took his stripes away. They fucking locked him up in a loony bin and made him fucking worthless. His family found his journal, and they decided the public to. But it's, of course, it's sold as fiction and, you know, storytelling. But there's a lot of truth in those things, dude. You see that?
I'm like looking at all this stuff. Look at it's so crazy what we just don't know.
Listen, they're telling us in the fucking movies, right, that there's alien technology. One of the largest, if not the largest pyramid on Earth is there covered underneath snow. Okay?
Huh.
It's physically there. You can see it. You can draw it out on Google Maps. You can see how other that's a pyramid, all right. Right? Tell me we don't have the technology to go over there and study it and start looking. Of course we do. There are already people there. There are already people there. That bitch is probably turns on with the fucking light switch. I don't know. There's shit down there, right? Yes, alien technology. There's so many things. How the fuck are you telling me that in the last 200 years of the U.S. existence, even let's say 150 years, right, from the Industrial Revolution forward, are you telling me that that's the best that we've ever done, right there?
No,
Like we went to the moon in 1964.
can't go back.
We can't go back.
But, that's all.
Come on. Oh, we lost it. We lost the video. We lost the technology. No, asshole. You made
Yeah,
it up,
it's so
and
it's so like the whole Antarctica thing. When like I've seen like different videos, people talking about showing pictures of maps and like talking about portals and all the other things that exist like at that end of the planet that nobody has ever seen. And they're like, look at this on the map, and they're showing things, and it's like, okay, like this is all very interesting, but yeah, I want to see now.
there is a so here's another one of the conspiracies, I guess that you could say, that catches my attention once in a while. When somebody talks to me about the war in Iraq, Saddam Hussein and all that stuff, right? The Bush administration war, the one that I participated in. dude, that wasn't because of fucking weapons of. They say, oh, they got weapons of mass destruction. They found a fucking portal. They, do you remember the movie uh Stargate? They
Yeah.
found a Stargate. They found a Stargate in Iraq, and they wanted to fucking make sure that nobody else touched it except the US. That's what the fucking war was about, dude. I'll
No
find
shit.
the dude. They found something so fucking crazy that Saddam was like, "Fuck you, dude. You ain't taking this from here." It wasn't oil. It wasn't weapons of mass. And they said it was weapons of mass destruction because they know exactly what it is. They wanted it. You got to remember, the whole world really much started in that side of the world. You know what I mean? Like, we are the wild wild west. That is the Middle East is pretty much where everything started. You
Yeah.
know, that's where man started. That's where we grew up from. That's where fucking everything, all the ties, all of our man-made religions and everything ties to that area. So there's a lot of truth in everything that people say, in any type of fucking belief. You got to
Mm-hmm.
tie it all down there. So why would I not believe that, for example, that there was an extraterrestrial life here helping us hundreds of thousands of years ago, that they came to help us on accident. They were like, for example, the Anunnaki story.
Well, I
It's
mean,
what
they talk about aliens in the freaking book of Genesis.
they talk
There's
about gods. Yes, they do. They talk about the Nephilim, which
yeah,
they talk about the
the
kids,
giants.
the
Yeah,
giants, which are a cross between a god and a mortal. I mean,
uh,
come
yeah.
on, dude.
It's pretty crazy. Like even if you look, so there's a book called the Apocrypha, and it has the book of Enoch in it, and they mention Enoch in the Garden of Eden, and like you can see the goosebumps on my arms. I was like, and it's like, why is that one of the books that was removed from the Bible? Because of like the Apocrypha, and it's like I think it's right here too. When we're talking about this, like
Yes.
this
How do
is a
you remove that, dude? Yes.
that's the full freaking text. So, and there's like, oh yeah, and I like asked one of my childhood pastors, my youth pastor, about it, and he's like, yeah, he's like, you're at a different level now. He's like, when you told me that you're actually seeking knowledge and growing, he's like, you're just on a different level. And he's like, a lot
People
of
want
people.
to people want to be led. They don't want to really see. You know what I mean? They don't want to see. They want to be led.
Yeah, and this is interesting because I it was somebody that had done a lot of time in prison that was talking to me. We started talking about God, and he's like, I do believe in God, but he's like, I don't believe in religion. He's like, one of the things that happens when they lock you in a cage, he's like, you occupy yourself. Most people choose to read. He's like, so I've read the Bible, I've read the Quran, I've read all the last books of the Bible. And that's how I was like, wait, what? He's like, yeah. He's like, you didn't know there were books that were taken out of the Bible? And he's like, it's a white dude. He's like, have you ever heard the Slaves Bible? I was like, no, I've never heard the Slaves Bible. He was like, yeah. He's like, that's like the Bible where everything about freedom was stripped in the revolt. He's like, so think about that. He's like, they control you by what they allow you to read. He's like, the information that they give you. I was like, okay. And like, this is like very, it's like early 20s Daniel. And it always stuck with me. And so when I really started to get into like audiobooks, I was like, let's get the book. I tried to find the lost books of the Bible on audiobook, and of course that doesn't exist. But the book of Enoch was one of them that was on audiobook, and I was
Yes.
just like, all right, so I need to find the rest of it. And so when I started, and I haven't dug into it as much as I should have by this point, but still, like piece by piece, it's yeah, it's crazy. It's and
There's so
like,
many things. There's so many things.
have you ever seen like the videos of like special forces guys like finding stuff in the caves and like
Yes,
the
yes, yes,
battles with,
yes, 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 yes,
and
yes. The
so
giant, the fucking the giant that the Army Rangers killed, that magically fucking disappeared.
I
The
never
guy
saw it.
had he had six fucking fingers on every hand and toe. All right.
Really,
The guy was fucking over 12 feet tall.
that's crazy.
Okay. He jabbed a fucking Army Ranger like this and lifted him up with one hand, dude.
Really,
That's a fucking 200-pound fucking man being
kidding.
like and pitted. Yeah,
Kit,
he
like
forked
he's
him.
full kit, like not.
Right.
Uh,
Yes. Yeah, that's
that's
230 pounds. Yeah, dude.
that's a lot. So
And he just picked him up like a fucking fork, like a steak. Chink. You know,
no shit.
dude. The guy was like, ah, and there he's like, shoot him in the face, shoot him in the face. Because they were shooting him and nothing was happening. So
Really,
they fucking everybody's locked in. You got like 8 or 9 fucking Rangers. Then bah, 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 they shot him right in the fucking head. They ended up dropping this creature. Helicopter came out. Dude, they couldn't, they were having trouble pulling this motherfucker. They had to haul him out. And then fucking when they put him in, he goes, it's the worst smell. He smelled worse than a skunk, right? Just fucking disgusting. But he was 100% human. I mean, he looked like a fucking human, just
really.
a really hairy, tall, 12-foot human.
Yeah, somebody was supposed to send me the video, and then I never got
Hold on. I can do that to you right now.
it.
That, I got that bitch. He's on YouTube. Yeah, that video is on YouTube.
Really,
Uh, they blocked. They did the interview and they blocked out the guy's face
really.
in Afghanistan. Hold
I
on
type,
here.
I type in Rangers versus Giants, and it pulls up baseball.
They call it the Giant of Kandar.
I see military
You
times.
found it? There it is. There you go. That's all you got to do. Giant of Kandar.
I'll have to dig. I'm gonna listen to this full
See,
interview.
this is part of the stuff that we need to look at when we're editing, so that we can show them, hey, pop in, check it out right here.
Yeah, just add the link,
Yeah, share
the
make
information.
the experience completely complete.
Yeah, I heard about it. I've never seen anything of it, but this is
Oh yeah, it's a great story, dude. Great story.
yeah, yeah, because you one of my buddies. Yeah, I always say he's loyal to the foil. What does that mean? It's like you got the tinfoil hat on because
Listen,
we,
there's so many stories out there that something is bound to be right. We don't know what you can always pick and choose what you want to believe, but it all comes down to one fucking thing. And that's the
yeah,
way we live our own fucking lives and worry about our own fucking selves. Other than that, because yes, we do live in a fucking matrix. It has been proven that we can alter our realities, right? So if most people are like, no, you can't, it's real simple. It's been proven that you can change yourself. You always change yourself based on your environment, right? So you're not happy with your situation, you got to change your environment.
yeah.
It forces you to. Why is it that all of a sudden with great destruction comes a massive influx of growth, right? I mean, it's hold on here. Something's a brewing. Something's a brewing. Listen, we can believe that we were brought in by fucking aliens or whatever the fuck, or we can believe that there is one God, the Almighty, the Creator of heaven and earth, of all that is seen and unseen, whatever it may be, whatever religious, it doesn't matter whether Jesus was the Messiah or not. It doesn't fucking matter. It doesn't matter because ultimately these were all man. These are stories that man tells man, right? So anything can be altered. Anything I say is based on my own perception. Anything you say is based on your own perceptions. It's what it all comes down to 100% what I truly do. What I truly do. If I do whatever I do, I need to be able to do it correctly and right and to the best of my abilities, right? I mean, that's what does everything else. So if we worry about our fucking selves and only there is absolutely nothing else that can fucking matter. But within all these conspiracies and between all this other shit, dude, there's shit out there that okay. So I talked about the portals. How about this one? There's 200 companies that really run the world, correct?
Yeah. Is it 200?
Something like that.
Because
There's like
only like seven that are top nine or seven that are too big to fail that influence all the markets.
something like that.
No.
The world is run by corporations. That is it doesn't matter where. Contrary to contrary to popular belief, I mean, just look at these BlackRock owns BlackRock, Vanguard. There's three fucking companies that own everything, a piece of everything.
And they're trying to get your house. It's nuts.
Here's a off the ball question. How many angels descended from the heavens with the fucking devil?
Never thought about it like that.
If you're religious, of course.
Well, I mean that's a very that's a
It
very
doesn't
different
matter. It's just yeah. So if you think of it this way, there's many ways of seeing it. So every story that religion fucking has taught us, it doesn't matter what religion, has always has two sides to the story. Which perception? Could the story be true? Sure. Could it be far fetched? Maybe exaggerated a little bit. But if you come to think about it, we do live. This is why I personally think that we do live in heaven and hell simulation at the exact same time. We create our heaven and we create our own hell. We do have the power to change all that stuff. But that's a different story. What I am saying is that it's all tied in together.
Yeah, that's it's definitely true. Huh.
The Roman Empire. Whatever happened to the Roman Empire? I think I've talked
Yeah,
about this before.
like the fall of Babylon and stuff like that too.
Yeah, but the fall. But listen to this though. Whatever happened to the Roman Empire? Where it disappeared. It just fucking mad bullshit, dude. It became the Roman Catholic Church.
Hmm. Hmm.
Listen, I was raised Catholic.
Okay.
Okay, I was an altar boy, and I'm over there going, I'm doing that whole fucking thing, and I'm devoted, and I used to love going to church 3-4 times a week, just because I was helping out. But listen, dude, no, I never got molested by a priest, but but if you look at the Vatican, if you look at everything, what's underneath that city, dude? There's another complete city. There's shit that they're hiding in there. There's actual pictures of people that have been able to get inside and taking pictures. That is a very sinister fucking place, dude.
Really?
That is a very sinister place.
Man, they're gonna come seize my hard drive after this episode of all the shit I'm googling.
The how about this one? There is a place in Swiss. Fuck, I'll find it. I don't want to say it yet.
So you're talking
Uh,
about like underground tunnels?
there's a fucking it's like
Huh.
it's a place that there's a verse in the Bible that says that that you can that that God says that the devil is that you can find him in his home in this place. Well, if you Google that place, it's like fucking Geneva. And there's certain key marks and key descriptions and that kind of point to what they're saying. That's why a lot of these old secret societies and whether they be fucking skull and bones or what do you call the other ones the compass people what do you call it
Huh. The volcano in Iceland.
a mason,
Oh, okay, like the Freemason Society.
the Freemason Society, all those dude, those a lot of it I think has gotten fucking butchered, but I really do believe that somehow there's there are societies out there that are really truly protecting or trying to protect the integrity
Huh. This is so. Uh, 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 this is crazy.
of simulation. I got
I've
your
never like this is not what the internet's for. Oh my gosh! Like you got me looking up shit that I've never even thought to look up. Boom. Fables
yeah.
passed down orally through generations describe the Karafel volcano as a portal to hell. It's where the devil landed after being expelled in Iceland.
Geneva. There's also there
Wow.
is also oh where is this? Dude, it's like this. Dude. We haven't even scratched the surface of our oceans and we're trying to go to Mars. We can't. There's so much, there's so many things out there. I get I get anxiety just thinking about being 2,000 feet under the sea.
Yeah, nah, I'm not.
I don't get a I don't get anxiety thinking I'm fucking floating up in space. What tells me is that there's something else deeper down there that, you know, the megalodon or that's nothing. He's just a fucking animal. There's something else down there. You know, I always thought about it's like, okay, whatever happened to Atlantis?
Yeah,
Whatever happened to Atlantis? What if, dude, they tell us, what if they're telling us, listen, I sound so kooky right now, which is fucking amazing. But these are just fucking my things that come in, that just pop into my mind once in a blue moon, and I'll say it. How about they tell us the truth among stories and movies? So, what about DC, dude? Right? So, DC Comics and Wonder Woman, right? So
listen.
she's out there in the middle of the fucking ocean, and she can see the new world, right?
Oh man.
They can't see her. I,
Yeah, there are some old comics, and somebody had stitched it together, and it was showing the covers of these comics, and it literally had like every terrorist attack that had freaking ever happened, and it was like old comics. Let me see if I can. And one of them was Wonder Woman.
really?
Yeah, and they had it all stitched together. It was like the 1984 was one of them where it had like planes crashing into the twin towers.
Yeah.
But yeah, and I was like, this is bullshit. Um,
Listen, dude, nothing, every, if we think about it, nothing is new. There isn't anything that any person has ever done or can do that was new. Somebody has done it before. We just can't prove who. But nothing is new. There's no unturned. There's no turn that no stone that has not been unturned. We're never going to be the first. Now we may, with that being said, there's so many things out there that we choose to just kind of not see because it doesn't align with our own personal sense of reality. I guess you could say it that way. You know, I mean, come on, dude. Women were being burned at stakes, 400 years ago for being witches, right?
Right. You know what bugs
Man,
me the most about that is the fact that they called it a trial.
yeah, right.
They're like, yeah, no, you're going on trial. Yeah, guilty. Burn. Like, how is that? We're civilized. Yes. Aha. I deem you a witch. Aha. Burned at a stake.
There's a movie called The Platform, I think.
Okay.
It's on Netflix. I think it's called The Platform. Anyway, so people voluntarily go into this building and they choose one thing that they would want to eat for the rest of the time that they spend there. Well, what they don't tell you is that in the very beginning you get all this fucking food and that platform comes down, and then when it's your turn to eat, there's no food left. So it's all about fucking saving each other and working together as a team, and you see both sides of humanity. Of, hey, we're doing for the greater good. You see the side of the greater good, and then you see the side of humanity going, this is fucking bullshit. There's people dying. You know, check that out. Check that movie. I don't want to ruin it too much, but it has a lot to do with the stuff that we're just now talking about.
What's the name of it again?
The Platform. I think it's what it's called. Let me make sure here. Let's see.
Well, there's a few of them.
There's Platform 1 and Platform 2.
Wow.
I think that's the name of it.
It's on Netflix.
Yes. The Platform and then the Platform 2. Yes, that is correct. Dude, I'm telling you, you're going to be like, fucking Nestor's crazy.
I don't know. You'd be surprised the stuff that I get to see because people tell me something that I'm just like, oh, like let's check this out. Like there's a movie that Eric Douglas had put me on, and it was like pretty much that the moon is hollow, and there's a whole another like entity in that moon. I'll have to see if I could find the name of it. I had to buy it because I was just like, and he's like, yeah,
In the
he's like that.
stories you've read, in the stories that you're talking about, in those old Bibles, there is a time when there was no moon.
Yeah, and he's like, yeah, he's like the moon's not real. He's like, it's a plant. And I was just like, you're crazy. And then he's like, watch this movie. And he's like, universal law, they have to tell us what they're doing. He's like, people are just too stupid to actually pay attention and listen when they're telling us what they're doing. He's like, and like a lot of it they tell us through movies that everybody thinks it's bullshit and it's fake. And he's like, but universal law says they have to tell us, and that's how they get away with it. And I was like, wait, what? And so, yeah, no, I have definitely some people that tell me some things, and I'm just like, he'll send me like videos and of all sorts of crazy stuff.
I'm not saying that the world is probably flat. I do work in aviation, but I am saying that the world is definitely a lot bigger than what they seem to tell us it is.
Mm,
It has to be. It
mm,
has to be. I'm not, and the rotation of shifts, the polar shifts, we're due for a major shift. You know, they they guesstimate 3 to 4 thousand years. Well, it's been, we're coming due on that rotational shift. What
mm,
happens when the south becomes the north and the north becomes the south? You know, what exactly happens there? You know, how is the ice going to be controlled? Supposedly, the South Pole is the coldest place on Earth.
mm.
What if it's really just the edge to go around, and we only know of one side of the world? Why is it that when we travel in straight lines, north and south? If you're gonna go from, if you're gonna go from Argentina to Australia, you're actually gonna fly north to California and then the Australia, or probably Alaska and then Australia. How does that make sense, dude? If you're going from Argentina, right, and you're going to go to Australia, why not just on the map, right? And just go this way or whatever,
Why
But
did it go?
no, yeah, but just cross into the Pacific, right? Just fly it through the Pacific. No, you have to go up. You have to hit the United States, and then you hit fucking Canada, and then you hit fucking. Why? Why do you have to fly that way? Look at the flight trajectory. It's
Yeah,
weird. You know,
probably.
I
Why
don't
is that?
know.
Why they go the
I
other
just
way?
think it's a lot bigger. They don't want us to see a lot of things. Even the president is fucking blind. He doesn't know everything. They don't want him to know everything. I do believe in that book that the presidents give to each other and they disclose certain
President's book.
secrets. The president's book that only presidents, is like, hey, today I found out that this shit's real. Pay attention. Shit like that, because they don't know everything.
Well, it's 6:05.
Today was an exciting day. Thank you so much. I got to figure out what the hell I'm going to do with the rest of my time. Ah,
The rest of my time. Yeah, I get to
no, it's
go move equipment now. So,
all right, brother. Well, you be good.
all right, man. You have a good one.
Bye bye.